Here on this DeBacco University video, we're going to look at two main options when it comes to taking down cannabis plants for the initiation of the harvesting process. All right, let's get into cannabis plant takedown options for harvest to see which one might fit your situation. So when it comes to harvesting the plants, cannabis plants are typically large and bulky, so when it comes to removing them, it can present many challenges. While there are a couple options, the end goal and result is essentially the same of kind of getting them ready for that drying and ultimately that curing process. So what about the size of your operations? These are important considerations. Depending on the size of your operation, this may essentially make the decision for you if you should go with kind of a manual harvest option or if you go with a mechanized harvest option. Now, this does not necessarily mean large operations always need to be mechanically harvested, but you need to make sure you have the right labor for it. Smaller operations, though, should stick typically with the manual harvest because it just becomes too cumbersome to work potentially with mechanized harvesting. Larger operations have a choice of kind of mechanized is staff if you're staff limited, or go with the manual route if there's enough people to make this process feasible. This also comes into play with where you can get the equipment in. So even large indoor grow operations can be very difficult to get equipment into these rooms. So a lot of times they are forced into the manual harvest option simply just because of the space constraints. So if we're looking at manual harvest, well, the advantage is that it does not require any specialized equipment. It allows for growers to specifically harvest sections of the plant. The disadvantage is very time consuming and does require the most labor, and that's kind of constant labor as you're going through harvesting, stacking, removing all the pots, going through that in that regards here with the indoor operation. Same so with an outdoor operation. It does require that kind of stacking, removing, and that kind of constantly handling and touching the plants. There's also, though, mechanized options here, typically done with large-scale hemp, but it's a very quick method, can be very efficient for large-scale operations, as we see here with, again, the large-scale hemp operation. Disadvantages is it does require specialized equipment, as we see here, and it can damage buds and plant material because, again, doesn't have that delicate touch necessarily, but sometimes the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So depending on your growing operation, whatever plant takedown option for harvest you think best fits your situation, you can search this channel and get more details on that particular method of harvesting or taking down your cannabis plants.